could turn criminal really fast. They're just using a civil suit to knock down a lot of your money. I'm seeing this happen with a lot of rappers, a lot of athletes, and people are not paying attention to that.
Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of this tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. It to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
Whose side are you on in this Shannon Sharpe mess? Are you backing him up or thinking it's about to go all the way left? Let's get into it. So turns out this whole Shannon Sharpe situation might be way deeper than anyone thought. Things really got wild when Mace jumped in and straight up said he believes Shannon is headed to jail. Yeah, jail! Mace claims this civil case is just the warm-up. He thinks they're draining Shannon's wallet now, so when the real criminal charges come knocking, he won't even have the money to fight back with top-tier lawyers. And honestly, it's starting to look like Mace might be onto something. More and more people are coming out with fresh allegations against Shannon, and each new claim is nastier than the last. This could cost Shannon everything. No more ESPN gigs, no more podcast appearances, no more TV shows, and say goodbye to fans calling him Unc. All of that might be gone if this blows up. So now we gotta ask, is Shannon being set up? Or are all these alleged victims just showing up at once with real receipts? Where did they all even come from?
This is what I'm getting at. And for him to offer 10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no 10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that 10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the 10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. You know, just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right? So if there's a pimp, right? Why y'all keep laughing?
Everybody's chiming in on this mess. Some folks are riding for Shannon, saying he's innocent. Others think the walls are closing in. But if you ask Mace, the biggest issue ain't even the lawsuit we're all watching. It's the criminal storm that might be forming behind the scenes. During his latest appearance on the It Is What It Is podcast with Cameron, Mace kept it all the way real. First thing he said, why didn't anybody tell Shannon that trying to pay his accuser $10 million wasn't the smartest move? Like, come on, offering money after being accused like that makes you look guilty, no matter how you try to explain it. But Mace didn't stop there. He dropped a detail that sounded kind of funny at first, until you really think about it. He pointed out how weird it is that Shannon's accuser still took him to court after being offered all that money, $10 million, and she still said, see you in court? That's suspicious for real. For context, this is where the story really starts to get disturbing. The accuser, listed as Jane Doe in court papers, was quickly tracked down by internet sleuths. They say it's Gabriela Zuniga, a 21-year-old model who goes by Gabby online. And what she's claiming against Shannon, it's no joke. Gabby says they met at a gym in LA when she was just 19, and Shannon was around 54. According to her, he pursued her hard, and they eventually started seeing each other. But she says it wasn't some sweet romance. She claims Shannon was controlling and manipulative, wanting her on call around the clock and checking up on her non-stop whenever she wasn't with him.
Right there. For real? Yeah, that worth a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. And he was like, 10 is my 10. You gotta put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling.
But that's not even the wildest part. Things allegedly went off the rails after Shannon made headlines last year for accidentally going live on Instagram while hooking up with another woman. Yup, that scandal. Gabby says she was humiliated by the whole thing and tried to end things, but Shannon wouldn't back off. Instead, he allegedly convinced her to let him come over and talk things out. That's when she says things turned violent and she was sexually assaulted. She claims she was crying and begging him to stop, but he didn't. Then in January 2025, he showed up again. This time, he said he had gifts for her. But according to Gabby, it ended the same way. Another assault, and this time, she says he didn't even use protection, even after she asked repeatedly. She also says he violated her in other ways without any consent. Afterward, Gabby allegedly texted Shannon saying,
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. It is what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, that mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit out of you when I see you.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice.
I cried when you left because I begged you to put one on and not go in the back, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no. But shortly after the lawsuit was filed, Shannon's legal team hit back. They leaked messages she had supposedly sent to him, and these texts were wild. One message dated October 7th, 2023 read, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me." Another from January 1st, right before the second alleged incident, said, "I know you missed this big juicy behind. $25,000 for each cheek, $25,000 for a cheat." And that's not all. Other texts said, "Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then I can do whatever I want to me. And I want to put my tongue in your hole and then marry you. That's my daddy." Followed by, "I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it, because you're going to be stuck with it for life." Now, people are questioning the strategy behind leaking those texts. If the goal was to defend Shannon, it backfired badly. It only added more mess to the situation and made things look even more toxic. But wait, it gets even crazier. Gabby's lawyer, Tony Busby, came back swinging and dropped some alleged audio recordings of Shannon threatening Gabby. In the first leaked audio, Shannon can be heard saying he's going to choke Gabby out and that she doesn't have a choice. That was already disturbing enough. But then another clip dropped, and this one basically confirmed what people were starting to fear. Shannon allegedly had no problem putting hands on her. But here's where things get murky. Rumors started swirling that these recordings may have been edited to make Shannon look worse than he really is. And people are saying this situation is way bigger than some messy fallout between him and Gabby.
We pray all of this is like a fallacy or some kind of hoax or something like this, because he was about to get a bunch of money. And you know, when you're about to get a bunch of money, people that hate on you just wait until you're about to get that money and rain on your parade. But we can't say that. And that's why I wanted to say it, to get Stats' opinion. I knew when I said that she was going to go, yeah. No, you can't be on your way to 100 million. I keep telling Killer, right? And niggas picking these kind of girls. You can't do that. We talked about this with Ant-Man. We talked about this with several players. You just can't do that. You about to get 100 million. You can't throw it away for an IG model. Is she an IG model?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. How does that work?
She got her separate account and she do her thing.
And that's exactly why Mace couldn't understand why Gabby turned down the $10 million. Be honest, with claims this serious and hard to prove in court, $10 million ain't a small number. In civil cases, the public usually flips it on the accuser, especially when she's a young OF model. People love to say she's just chasing the bag and trying to ruin a successful man's career. So Mace started speculating. Maybe she didn't walk away from that offer because someone else is pulling strings behind the scenes. He hinted that others could be pushing for a bigger payday, taking their cut from whatever settlement might come later. He even said this whole mess blew up right when Shannon was reportedly about to land a new $100 million deal for his podcast. Mace said it half joking, but fans in the comments weren't laughing. They started really wondering if this was a setup. But Mace didn't stop there. He said Shannon might have fallen into that same trap that a lot of men do when these allegations hit. According to Mace, the civil lawsuit, it's just the first punch. The goal? Drain Shannon's bank account, keep him distracted, and then boom, hit him with the real legal smoke. He even compared it to what's been happening with Diddy. Start with one civil suit, then more follow, and before you know it, it's a full-blown federal case. Now let's be real. Nobody's saying these men didn't do what they're accused of. This ain't about defending bad behavior. But if the whispers in the streets are true, Shannon might be facing a serious downfall. And it's not just online gossip anymore. These rumors have jumped out of social media and are making moves in real life.
We also got to start paying attention, fellas, when they're telling you it's a civil suit. Don't feel like that's just a civil suit. If it's civil suit, but it's something criminal, it could turn criminal really fast. They're just using a civil suit to knock down a lot of your money. I'm seeing this happen with a lot of rappers, a lot of athletes, and people are not paying attention to that. Another way that people are just green to the streets, you know, that's just one entity trying to walk away some of your money, so that when they double back and say, well, this was you did this over here, because 9 times out of 10, if one girl say something, then somebody else gonna come say something, because they're like, people are getting paid, and people are getting paid for nothing. And I really got some issues, or they may really have a text or really have a message, and it's like, I don't know what to do or what to tell fellas now.
The Gabby case alone had people shook, but now it looks like Shannon's whole past is being ripped open. And you already know, once internet detectives get involved, it's over. They'll dig up stuff the FBI couldn't find. So when Shannon's lawsuit started trending, the online sleuths wasted no time. They started going deep into his background, trying to figure out if there were signs of this kind of behavior before. And guess what? They found some wild things. One of the most alarming finds? Shannon was allegedly accused of choking a woman years ago while working as a co-host on S1's Undisputed. That's right. This might not be the first time his name's been attached to serious claims like this. According to a source close to the situation, Shannon was once accused of choking a female production assistant right there in the workplace. Word is, Shannon and Fox didn't let this one make it to court. They allegedly settled with the woman for hundreds of thousands of dollars. No official lawsuit ever got filed. And why? Because according to insiders, Shannon's legal team and the network hustled hard to sweep it under the rug, but not before the internet caught wind of it. Now here's the strange part. If you go online and try to look this up, almost nothing comes up, like it was erased. But let's be honest, nothing stays hidden forever on the internet. And once this story of Shannon allegedly choking his former coworker started getting attention, his lawyers jumped into full damage control mode. They rushed out a public statement denying everything. According to them, there was never any choking incident involving Shannon on the FS1 set. Instead, they claimed that on one occasion, he and some colleagues engaged in light physical interaction in a playful context. But people were quick to call out how sketchy that sounded. Like, what even is light physical interaction?
Shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about.
And how is that an excuse for choking someone? But that's not where the madness ends. Another disturbing situation involving Shannon has recently resurfaced, this time involving his ex, Michelle Evans. Michelle first filed a defamation lawsuit against Shannon back in 2023, right after she got a restraining order against him. In her lawsuit, Michelle claimed they had been in a relationship for nearly 10 years, but it all came crashing down in September 2010 after a heated argument. She says the fight broke out after she confronted him about cheating. That's when, according to Michelle, Shannon snapped. She alleged that during the argument, Shannon turned violent and forced her to perform oral on him. Then she says he forced her onto the bed and assaulted her, saying he was going to make it so no other man would want her. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Gabby, the OF model, claimed Shannon said almost the exact same line to her. In her lawsuit, Gabby said that in October 2024, when she tried to break things off with Shannon and he came to her apartment, he forced her to perform oral on him. While doing so, he allegedly said, "You've disrespected me so much. I'm going to punish this a-hole. I'm going to make it so no man will want you again." Then, according to Gabby, he proceeded to assault her through the back while she was crying uncontrollably and said something chilling. "Look at my arm. I've got chills. That's how good this is. After the attack, Michelle claims Shannon became even more violent. That behavior allegedly continued to escalate, which is why she eventually sought legal protection. At this point, the pattern being painted is impossible to ignore. And the fact that both women claim Shannon used the same exact words during violent moments, that's sending shockwaves through the internet right now. Michelle said Shannon didn't just stop after the alleged attack. He would constantly threaten to ruin her if she ever spoke out. She claimed he started calling nonstop, threatening, stalking, and reminding her over and over that he was watching her every move. Things got so bad, she had to file for a restraining order just to feel safe. But once her lawsuit resurfaced, Shannon's team wasted no time clapping back. They blasted Michelle, claiming she was just hopping on the Shannon hate train to cash in. They called her case old news, filled with fanciful exaggerations and straight-up misrepresentations. According to them, the accusations had zero merit, and Shannon plans to fight hard against what they say are nothing but malicious lies. And just like with Michelle, Shannon denied everything Gabby said too. He called her lawsuit a straight-up shakedown. Still, the internet won't let this story go. And honestly, it looks like Shannon is finally realizing this might not just be a PR nightmare. This could end with actual jail time. So now we gotta ask, where do you stand? Do you believe Shannon is innocent and getting set up? Or do you think these women are finally speaking out about something much bigger? Let us know in the comments. Whose side are you on in all this? And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this wild ride.